Hi, today I have a message called What You Are, so here is the short version. What you are and what everyone else is, it's very appreciative. When you lay claim to what your divine sibling is, that's not a taking. The same innocence you are, I am. The same sanity you are, I am. The same love you are, I am. The same safety you are, I am. The same light you are, I am. Your recognition of the guidance of Spirit in them helps them hear the guidance of Spirit in them. Your recognition of the guidance of Spirit in them helps you hear the guidance of Spirit in you. Then I was given a soundtrack for the message, The Beatles Come Together. Every moment is an opportunity to recognize the goodness without opposite behind the appearance of everyone and everything. Okay, so back to what you are and what everyone else is. It's very appreciative. Sometimes I'm given different angles from which to view things, and somehow that helps. So instead of seeing love or light, I might see appreciation, gratitude, some seemingly different angle, which is really the same thing, somehow helps me drop something and accept something. So there we are. What you are and what everyone else is, it's very appreciative. It's very expansive. It's very joyful. It's very loving. It's very giving. If we take a moment to rest in the sameness of what everything and everyone actually is behind any screen of fear, differing screen of fear that we have projected upon it, either especially positive or especially negative. Behind it is the same shining goodness, and for some reason today it helps to emphasize it's appreciative. If we look at the world and we seem to see something vicious or dangerous or punishing coming back at us or looking back at us, we always have this option to recognize that's just my fearful projection, and it's actually nothing. It seems like a big something, and I can get fooled again, like I've been fooled and fooled and fooled, or I can just acknowledge that's just my fearful projection, and behind it, here's this beautiful, expansive sameness behind everyone and everything. It's goodness without opposite. Ego has to stop joking with itself that it can claim some special prominence or recognition or value for itself that another wouldn't have. We have to drop that to be able to remember what there is to see. Okay. When you lay claim to what your divine sibling is, that's not a taking. And that's all the siblings without exception, no matter what the appearance of the fear screen I've projected upon them. They're the same thing underneath. And when we lay claim to that sameness, we're not taking anything. We're sharing. We're recognizing. We're remembering. We're remembering the joke we played on ourselves. When you lay claim to what your divine sibling is, that's not a taking. It's both very still, what our divine siblings are, underneath anything positive or negative we're projecting on them. It's very alive, very vibrant, very powerful. And as we're looking at it, seemingly over there, of course it is what's actually here. It's what we are. But for some reason we see it. We look over there and remember, oh, I projected fear on top of what's here. Oh, and look what's here. Vision sees it, not the five senses. Things may come in, perceptions may come in to back up vision. But first of all, vision, a memory comes. Oh, this is what's actually truly here. And I'm imagining other positive and negative things that seem to be here. Okay, and that's not a taking, that's a sharing. So we can lay claim to the true nature of what everyone and everything is, and that's never taking. That's just recognizing, remembering, and sharing. Okay. The same innocence you are, I am. The same sanity you are, I am. The same love you are, I am. The same safety you are, I am. The same light you are, I am. You can do this with an object. I saw a little bit of a news story about a helicopter and plane that collided. You can do that with an object. You can do that with a person. A being, really. And it's the beingness shining behind the object, too. It's the same being everywhere. And we can just stop and acknowledge what shines behind the surface of everything. The same innocence you are, I am. And it has nothing to do with our memory of what seemed to happen in time and space. The same sanity you are, I am. And that has nothing to do with the sane or insane designations that have been given to characters. The same love you are, I am. And that has nothing to do with an analysis of person's actions. This person acts differently than that person. That's a perception. And that's the part I make up. I make up that part. That distracts away from the love that you are and I am. I do think we're coming into a phase of our learning and unlearning where we allow the perception to point quite directly toward the truth of us, where it becomes easier and easier to remember the truth of us because perception doesn't contradict it so very much, or perception becomes so insignificant and faded that it's barely a thing. I feel like those two things are coming here, available. I don't know. That's just what came to mind. I know both the need not to be distracted by perception seeming to be busy contradicting the sameness of us, and the need to allow in the miracles that correct the perception, that allow all the symbols of time and space that we made up to be used to just become signposts pointing directly toward home. So all of that somehow not organized by an ego. It's already been organized, it's already been planned. We're just falling into alignment with the plan that's here for all of us, and we're flowing with it in peace. Okay. I don't know where I was. The same safety you are, I am. And as this plan unfolds, it's important to remember how safe we are and how safety is the nature of everyone and everything, or you can say what's shining behind it, but I'm using the perception of something unsafe to block the reality of the one shared safety that's here for everyone and everything. And it's safe to put our attention on this. Ego would scream about, no, you really need to pay attention to what's unsafe. But now that the light shining behind it is so compelling, so warm, such a reminder of home, that of course you're going to want to focus on that, because you remember that's real, and you remember you made up all the other stuff. The same light you are, I am. And light is real. Light is ever present. Light can't be harmed. Light doesn't go away. Light shines the darkness away as we allow it. So everything we thought was so important and so real and so solid is actually very flexible, very changeable. And as we stop trying to hold on to or cling to the seeming inflexibility, rigidity of what we made up, we've been calling that safety and reliability, and we've been leaning on it, kind of showing up the same cycles of chaos. We've been calling that safety and insisting that it not change. But now there's this willingness to recognize perception is very flexible. And it's okay to recognize that, because it's not going to go into complete disarray. It's already in disarray. It comes into order, to divine order, a reflection of divine order, when we realize how easily it can be changed. Okay. Your recognition of the guidance of Spirit in them helps them hear the guidance of Spirit in them. Your recognition of the guidance of Spirit in them helps you hear the guidance of Spirit in you. So the focus is really on them, on any they I'm looking at out there. If I don't remember that Spirit is alive and active and present and guiding within them, I'm not going to have the same experience in me. I cannot set myself apart from them. The Spirit in them is the Spirit in me. It's the same Spirit. And what does Spirit do? It guides. And if I want my perception to change, I have to have complete faith in every seeming actor in a situation. And I have to see it is the Spirit within them leading. And forget about this character and whether or not the character is capable of listening to and following the Spirit. The character is the fearful surface I projected upon the being. So I get right back to the being, and I rest in the being and with the being, because I am that being. There's no separation there. Beingness, or the Christ, or the oneness, that's what we are together. That's the important part. And any further analysis or differentiation I'm going to go into is just going to be confusing for me. It's best if I keep it very simple. Your recognition of the guidance of Spirit in them helps them hear the guidance of Spirit in them. Your recognition of the guidance of Spirit in them helps you hear the guidance of Spirit in you. So it's like being wholly in, WHOLLY, wholly, completely in every situation I seem to be in, and allowing the tendrils of light, the interconnectedness of light, it looks like a nervous system to me, to be lit up everywhere, within everyone and everything. Everyone and everything operated by the light. Perception change, right? You want your perception to change. So in one sense, I see two senses of it. In one sense, the light becomes prominent. And so the darkness, all the differentiation, all the things ego would analyze or value, fades and fades and fades and fades. And the light's very prominent. You can actually physically see the light. There's that. And then there's allowing situations to be used, every situation to be used by Spirit for perception correction. And what's Spirit going to do with all of those symbols that ego has made? We take our hands off and we just let Spirit, we don't know what Spirit's going to do, but we trust and we have faith and we allow that. So that seems to be the other way of looking at it. Okay. So the Beatles come together was prominent for a while as I was receiving that. So I'll probably go back and have a listen. And then every moment is an opportunity to recognize the goodness without opposite behind the appearance of everyone and everything. So the appearance is not important. And if I kind of detach from the appearance, then Spirit gets to be in charge of the appearance. Then it's not in seemingly my, as a separate one, as an ego, it's not in those hands. It's in Spirit's hands. Every moment is an opportunity to recognize The goodness without opposite behind the appearance of everyone and everything. So it's important to remember what's important, and that's what's important, the sameness, not all the different little things I'm going to pick out. And it's important not to make exceptions. This goodness without opposite doesn't pick special ones to light up in. It's everywhere. And it's there for the seeing, it's there for the recognition, it's there for the remembrance. So I think that's everything. And happy healing. Thank you.